Island Dave here, huh? Island Dave on an island. Hey, lower the volume, man. Lower the volume, man. Why gone, girl? Why gone, pretty girl? Huh? Why you gone? Big up yourself, girl. Yes. Go get you some steamed fish and okra. Yes. Some steamed fish and okra, girl. Why gone, pretty girl? Huh? Yes. Go suck your mother. What? What? That good or bad?
Yes, good night, my Facebook family and friends. That was Mr. Kevin Hart. Yeah, I love Kevin Hart, man. He's one of the best comedians right now. He's artist thing right now in terms of running in the USA and around the world. He has his shows. But tonight, as promised on my promotion, I will be having 3 guests. One will be a co-host, which is my brother from another mother. And I will have 2 distinguished track and field. One is an athlete and an administrator. One is a coach and administrator, everything. And, we are going to do a review of the World Athletic Championship, which just finished in the past week. But before I even do that, my thing already. I have to talk about a few things, just a few, tonight. And some burning topics before I even go into the interview with my special guest tonight. But the first thing is about this pastor, the Brooklyn pastor. But the Brooklyn pastor get robbed. Although I'm laughing, but we have he was robbed of $400,000 of gold chain. Yeah, $400,000 of gold chain. Which to me don't make no sense, and he's a pastor wearing a bling bling. He's wearing a bling bling and drive a Rolls Royce. No, the argument in my 85 group is that, boy, this pastor a thief, and he might use the congregation for getting own wealth. Well, from my perspective, the pastor. I don't think a pastor should be showing his expensive lifestyle to his congregation, because some of his congregation or followers are suffering. And if he can't show us him have $400,000 of gold chain between him and wife, I'm sorry. How does he really help in his congregation who are suffering? I don't know him, but from that outlook, it's not looking good as a pastor. And then now they came in there and robbed him on the pulpit. That's just crazy. But as I said, there's always more to the story. Why they would come and rob him, and they know he's a pastor and he's bling, bling, bling life. Once again, pastors are servant of the people, not servant for themselves. That's my take on that. I'll discuss that more. We hear more. The next thing is I want to talk about is Jamaica. And I'm going to be frank. A lot of foreign companies, especially local companies, pressure the people of Jamaica a lot. And I'm going to talk about the banks. I'm seeing where this MP, I don't remember his name right now, he's carrying the banks to the court for charging fees for changing a check. My Lord, mercy. Yes, I say mercy on our Jamaican people. Because I don't know for the love of life why a bank is going to charge its customers to change a check. They are not third parties who are taking responsibility and taking up this check to change. Like here in the US, Western Unions and cash checking place are third parties. They charge a fee because they are taking the responsibility of making sure they change their check, make sure that check is cashable, and if they lose, they're going to take a hit. But this is where the banks in Jamaica are charging the consumers fees to change in their checks. I say it's total robbery, and I believe this minister, the MP, should continue to carry them to court. I don't know why Jamaican people don't carry them to court now, because the financial institution should not be charging no fees for change a check. All the team must charge is maintenance fee for the account and whatever fees you want to do, mortgage or whatever business. Because these banks in Jamaica are making billions, not millions, billions of dollars. So I watch the story and I hope that the MP will have some success. But anyway, let me move on to the main topic tonight, review of the World Athletic Championships. And I bring in my brother, Dwight Geddes. You know him, he's always one of the girls here who come to my show and give his views. And even my co-host. Let me add him. Mr. Dwight, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm very good, sir. Very good. How you doing?
I mean, my brother, wait, I'm anticipating a good show. And, and I select you to be my co-host. Because you're a man who was dealt deeply in track and field.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
On the US side, Jamaica side, and all around the world. So I choose you as my co-host to be the appropriate person. But let me have two special guests to add tonight, and these are between them. They have maybe 60 years of experience in track and field administration.
More than that, man. More than that.
More than that.
Some here. Some here.
70?
Keep going.
What? Why do we? Let me give a snap stuff. Let me introduce them and then bring them in and let's give an introduction. And I'm going to give them like a CV. The first person I'm going to talk about is Mr. Michael Carr. Yes, Mr. Michael Carr. And based on his CV, he has been coaching from 1979. Damn, that man is a real legend.
You remember, sir?
We've been, that's for 45 years stronger and more.
Mm-hmm.
1994, he has been the head coach for Jamaica youth teams at the CAC, Carifta, Pan Am Games, World Youth, World Juniors. He has been a coach. And one of his greatest achievements was when he won with the World Youth team in 2013 in Ukraine. Yeah, the war in Ukraine. But you want to talk about that. That can trigger something about the war. The people are suffering in Ukraine, but that's another topic. Mr. Carr is president of is the coach at the Wolmer's Girls for the past 36 years. He started his trade. This is where I give me a lot of practice. He started his trade at Stony Hill, Arlage, then moved to St. Andrew High School for another 6 years. Right? And he has produced the first gold medalist in indoor, Mr. Clive Terrelong. In 1994, he won that. Also, his greatest prodigy right now is Shelly-Ann Fraser. He coached her from 1999 to 2006. And 2 years after, we know, she won a gold and the rest of the history. So this man has a deep knowledge in track and field, and we cannot 45 years of a man in a sports so long. But me want to know what is keeping his longevity in this sports. I will be asking that question. But he's also a man passionate in music. In his leisure time, he loves music. And the man loves a good game of dominoes and Ludo. But one over 6 love get from over 6 love will drop. 1 over 6 love him get. So let me bring in Mr. Michael Carr. Mr. Carr, how are you doing, sir?
Greetings. Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
So thank you for coming, my brother. Thank you. But before I will continue, I have one more. And this is Mr. Michael Carr. Best buddy. But this man, why don't give a look at boo, Don't give a look at boo. Because let us see this man, CV. His name is Mr. Trevor T.C. Campbell. I know that in Bonafide, but we must make sure we mention T.C. Campbell.
You have to get them full bona fides, man. One deal.
The TC Campbell entered KC in 1967. He's a Fortes man. Boo!
Boy, I don't know about them KC man there now.
Yeah, man. He represented KC in both track and field and football, and he won Manny Cup in 1970 with the KC team. He ran in all classes. He won all of his classes while attending KC at that time. And he was given a scholarship to attend the University of California, where he majored in journalism with an emphasis on public relations. Right, boy. KC, yeah, man. Right, boy, man.
We can't get all of the scholar athletes. I mean, 1 and 2 have to go somewhere else. It's all right.
Yeah, well, that's cool. But when he came back, he was elected to the board of the J3A. He served for 19 years, and he managed many of Jamaica teams, which included Carifta, Royal Athletic Championship, and in Germany in 2009, and in 2013 in Russia. So he's a man of a wealth of experience. He's a father of 3, and also a grandfather. Oh, yes, sir. But his highlight achievement as an athlete was when he was an Olympian in the year 1972. And in the Pan American game, he won silver medalist. He was silver medalist, right? Yeah, he was in Pan American game. He was silver medalist. Pronunciation I go on to do it. CACT. But in the CSC games, he won gold medal in both relay 4x1 and 4x4. So without further ado, I'm going to add Mr. Trevor T.C. Campbell. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Before I even ask, Mr. Michael Carr, how are you doing and how is the family?
All good, you know. Can't complain right now. Giving thanks, you know.
And health-wise, how are you doing?
Come again?
All is good.
Health-wise, how are you doing health-wise?
Surviving. You know, as the little clock keep ticking, we give thanks for that, you know.
Nice. Mr. Trevor T.C. Campbell, how are you doing and how is the family?
Oh, family is great. We're doing good. Thanks for asking.
And how is the health, sir?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Can't complain. All right. Thumbs up. Welcome to my perspective. I introduce my co-host, Dwight Geddes. He has been Dwight, me, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Carr, and Mr. Trevor T.C. Campbell, sir.
Pleasure.
Nice.
All right, so
I will hold the KC thing against you. It's okay.
I'll act like I didn't hear that.
Wolmer's a good school. Wolmer's a good school still in that. So
All schools are good schools.
right, so but my brothers, right here to review the World Athletic Championship, which was concluded last week, and I just want to stick to some basic, context, the highs, the lows, and how you rate Jamaica performance during this World Athletic Championship, and looking at maybe some glitches like the sensor issue with the starting, and also the world record with the 100-meter hurdles, and anything else you want to discuss about this World Athletic Championship was just passed. So, Dwight, do you want to start with your questions and discussion in terms of what you think is your highs and lows? Where you want to start from?
Well, I want to start by saying this. I think that Jamaica had a very good, very successful championship. I think overall we did I am happy to see the young men starting to compete in finals again in the sprints and so on. You know, and even in the field events, I saw some of our athletes up there competing. Listen, whether them win or not, it doesn't matter. We see the development going again. You know, you see someone like a Jaheel Hyde, who was, you know, was he world junior, world youth champion?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and now you see him back in form again, out there competing against, you know, the greats in his event. He was a great in the event, and he's now back right there competing with them. So, you know, it's good to see. It's good to see that we're still heavily involved there. That being said, one of the things that I think some fans get it, some people involved in the process get it, but a lot of people don't seem to understand the concept that when you are successful, the standards change. People don't want to say, oh, we just happen to make the finals. When you make the finals all the time, at some point people say, well, yeah, you have to win, right?
Do you
Or you
concur
have
with
to
that,
get a
Michael?
medal, right?
Yeah, but once
So-
again, do you concur that some Zakar and Mr. Trevor about what you're saying? Do you concur, or do you want to add something different to his flavor?
Well, I'm
No, it's
listening,
good
and
so
so
far.
far I concur.
Because again, if you win at an event, or you're competing, you're second, you're third, you're up there all the time in competition for medals, right? Expectations change.
Mhm.
So when you slip even a little bit, people are going to be upset. Not because of any other reason, but they've come to expect more from you. And that's just a fact. And that's just the thing that a lot of people are upset and say, boy, you can't criticize the athlete. No, you can't. You're used to a certain standard at this point. The standard may have been here, but now the standard gone up. You know what I'm saying again there, brother? Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's standard is not today's standard.
Which I agree totally.
So
Yes, but
Go ahead, Zakar.
it is a natural thing that you're winning and you're doing well and everybody is with you. Ray. And the moment you are not producing what they are expecting, all of a sudden everybody has something bad to say. Boy, him finish or she finish or something. It is a human nature. I know it's a thing about Jamaicans. And some of our athletes got the sticks at the World Championship because, you know, one's expectations were as such that they expected them to be in final, to be at the podium and all of that. It didn't happen.
Right.
And you know, people find all kind of things to say, boy, better them retire and better them this and that. But a lot of persons don't really understand what these athletes go through, you know. They don't understand the pain and the suffering and the sacrifice that they make to be where they are.
Wow.
And they need to understand that.
yeah, but and I agree. But even with that being said, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. You saw Sid McLaughlin run for the US the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has broken the world record 4 times now in a year and a half. Her own world record, she keep breaking the record, going faster and faster. 4 times in a year, a record that stood for years before she and Dalilah Muhammad came along. They know them breaking the record every time they go on the track. Was one of the first things I said to her, and she confirmed during the interview after she break the world record. She said, no, I'm have to go see what else I'm going to do. Why? Not because she's not the best, not because she don't enjoy her sport, you know, not that she don't enjoy her event, but because she realized the challenge, the standard has no change.
Well,
You understand?
Yeah, and I agree with the standard, but so Trevor, what is your take on what we were discussing? What is your opinion? Let me hear your opinion.
Well, the standard has been set very, very high. The bar has been set very high in maybe the last 10 years or so. And anybody who's coming into the sport know will have to understand that that is the standard that people are going to judge them from. And I know sometimes the criticism is a little harsh,
Yes.
but you can't be thin skinned if you're out in the public. If you're a public figure, you're going to be criticized. People will have things to say. You need to be thick skinned and you need to pick the nonsense from the sense and move forward. Simple as that.
But Mr. Trevor, what about shutting out the nonsense? How does athletes can athletes avoid social media? Although now it's a part of their repertoire to be in the social, can they avoid those things? Zakara, Mr. Trevor, and Dwight, can they avoid those social media things?
It is difficult to do that. It is difficult to do that because you're in the public space, so you can't hide. You know, you just have to learn to live with it and understand that you're going to be criticized at some time. It's either you run with it or learn from it or just forget about it. Keep doing what you know you have to do. But you can't hide from it. You cannot hide because everywhere you go, the camera is on you. Everywhere you turn. So you have to just learn to live with it. It's a choice. It's a choice that you have made to be who you are. So where you going to? You can't do not know that.
So you were saying something, Mr. Campbell.
The Campbell,
TC, you were saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's hard. No, let me back up a little. Social media is there, and we need to understand what social media represents. And when we use social media, we need to understand that it is not always based on facts and figures. It's a lot of emotions. And you as a person out there, you can't get caught up in that kind of emotion. You have to separate yourself from that. People will have things to say. You can't stop them from saying things. What you need to do is just go about your job. Simple.
Perfect.
Like, these days it require a whole lot more thick skin and ability for tune out certain things because it's everywhere. You know what I mean? Once upon a time it could be you see a column in the paper, you may hear somebody on the radio or something, but now it's 24/7. Everywhere you turn, TV, radio, phone, computer, everything, it's all there. You know, so it is difficult. It is difficult, but the best ones rise above it.
Yeah, well, if you do what we are all saying is that there must be some level of psychology toughness, mental toughness to deal with social media now. And as Trevor alluded, we have to keep going about our business. Like I can express the same thing in a different form, and you say the same thing. But gentlemen, you know, when we start talking, time goes so fast. But the question to you, can you give us the highs of this World Athletic Championship on a Jamaica perspective? But Mr. Trevor, you first, the highs for Jamaica on this World Athletic Championship.
One high is hard to determine or to select. I think the last day probably was, apart from the 100-meter sweep. I mean, that, you know, everybody is up in arms about that. But I think the last day we really performed well. On the men 4x4, the ladies 100 meters. Pardon me?
And the women, you say, right?
Yeah, the women hurdlers, 100-meter hurdlers, the men 4x4. I think they really closed the thing in a fine style for us. In general, I think we won. The medals we won were the medals that we were supposed to win. I don't think we really went out of the prescribed medal march that we were on. I think we got what we went there for, and we didn't have any, apart from Parchment having that mishap. Everything really went as it was supposed to. Sure, we should have won the sprint relay, but that's another conversation.
Yes, sir. I agree.
We'll see back to that, Mr. Carr.
Yes, sir.
You're high. Are you going to concur with Mr. Trevor, or are you going to give your own perspective, sir?
Yeah. My high, honestly, no, not being biased. I think Shelly-Ann winning that 100, that was a high for me. The 1, 2, 3, of course, is there. That was expected. But why I selected that event for my high is that going into the final, some were saying Sharika, some were saying Elaine, and some were saying Shelley. So that was an event that was open, basically. And at 35, and winning the 5th world title, that's an awesome achievement.
Yes.
Awesome achievement.
Awesome.
To me, that was my high.
I'm going to ask you a question, Mr. Carr.
Yes, sir.
No, me a teeth up here right now. You just, you know, if you follow baseball, I'm going to throw it up, you just lick it out of the park. Greatest sprinter of all time. Female sprinter. Female sprinter.
Record speaks for itself. Record speaks for itself. The record for itself.
We need to hear the name, man.
Yes,
the greatest 100-meter sprint.
No. The greatest female sprinter of all time.
All time, Shelley Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Thank you.
Mr. Trevor, do you agree with that? Greatest female sprinter of all time?
Absolutely.
And why give her that credit? Why would they give her that the greatest female sprinter? I was throwing out some ball at you. Why?
Who answering first?
Well, I've answered already.
Trevor, your answer. Why giving her the greatest female sprinter of all time? Shelley Ann Fraser. Why giving her it, sir?
Who do I believe it? We're breaking up.
Okay, I'm saying, why would he give Shelley Ann Fraser the greatest female sprinter of all time?
Her record speaks volumes.
5-time world champion.
Pardon me?
5-time world champion.
I mean, it doesn't stop there. It just keep on going. I mean, she has done everything. What else would she need to do for her to be recognized as such? There's no other barrier that she needs to cross. She has done it all.
Right. And Dwight, what is your high? What is your high, Dwight, of the World Athletics Championship?
The 100-meter finals was a definite high. The women's 100-meter finals. Seeing one of our young men make the finals for the men's 100 meters, I legitimately thought he had a shot at a medal. I really thought he had a shot at a medal, but I'm glad that we're represented now in this. That's the second thing. I'm a Sidney McLaughlin fan, so watch her run out the race. She's not Jamaican, but watch her run out the race. I was applauding. And the men's team overall, they may not have the results that were wanted, but they showed up and competed.
Right.
And it is a road back now from Bolt retiring and getting these guys, but we're on the road. We're on the road.
Right.
And I tend to agree with you, because another thing you need to look at is that many of our athletes this year were first timers. A lot of them were first timers, and they also reached the final of their events. They might not have gotten on the podium, some might not have gotten into the last 8, but they made the final. And that is something to look forward to. Now they have gotten what you call experience. So it can only help them now going forward.
Mr. Carr, why hold a point about going forward now? And that's a question. For me personally, the high for me was Sharika winning that 200 meter. She has now matured into her own, and unfortunately she was beaten in 100 meter by Shelley Ann Fraser, which we can discuss one day. But
no shame in that. No shame in that.
No, I'm not shaming that. Sharika was my highlight. And also the relays, final day, the 100 meter hurdle, the 4x1 women, the 4x4 men, the 4x4 women. Those are the highlights for me. On top of the highlights for me for the men, for the relays. But once again, the unconventional one, the long jump, a triple jump, there was an athlete that did well. I think he came third or second.
Sharika Ricketts.
Sharika Ricketts, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and those
overlooked.
Yes, overlooked, and those are things I
tell you, I am not surprised. Those persons, in my opinion, are expected to do what they did. It is not a surprise, right? She has been behind Rojas for the past many games,
Yeah.
Because for Rojas should have gotten a lot of gold medals. But Rojas is just, well, she's who she is. She's unbelievable.
Right.
So I went in my original medal count. I had her to medal. So she was expected to. Brittany Anderson,
Yeah.
you know, the season has been going. She too was expected. I expected her to medal because she has been there with the biggest and the best of them at all time. It took a world record to beat her.
Yes.
Yes.
And in doing so, she also set a national record.
Yes, sir.
She's one of those that has come through the ranks. She has been a world junior champion also. So you can see development, you can see growth
Right.
with her. You know. Another thing that we can look at is the triple jump. We had 3 ladies in the final of the triple jump.
Yes, sir.
3
Yes, sir.
Yes.
time just left school probably a year or 2 ago.
Wow.
Right? That's good. We had 2 competitors in the high jump.
Yes, sir.
Right? High jump final, we had 2 competitors. Again, first timers. So that is what I'm saying. Yes, that is what I'm saying. We're not looking bad going down the road. We're not looking bad going down the road. Next year should be a different
Mikey, if I can add to that, add to that, Mikey, the 3 women in the 800 meters.
Yeah.
Also.
Yes, sir. 800.
Yep. And 1 to the semi-final, 1 to the final.
Yes.
You know, and the one of them did 2 events. We had somebody running 1500.
Yes.
No, she doubled. She did the 15, she did the 8.
She did the 8. Adele Tracy, yes.
That's a mammoth task she took on. But she reached both events. You have to wonder now what would have happened had she done one event in terms of the energy and distribution with that one event. What would she have done? Right? So, you know, not bad. There was a big spread.
I'm still waiting for the first heptathlete and the decathlete doing up. So
second one, Maurice Smith a few years ago.
We'll wait for them to come back now and start.
Yeah, man. But you see, that's an event that I don't know. I see it in the women in terms of the heptathlon. I see them doing that champs and stuff like that. Them just not going on with it, you know. And like you said, let's wait and see what happens. You looking for that? I want to see a hammer show one day.
I'm about to add the hammer show.
Pole vault.
What about the pole vault? This guy will break the record. He will be been training from his 4-year-old and he break the record. What about those events?
Yep. And remember, in the 800,
I can tell you, I went out for pole vault and I tried it one time, literally one time, and I said, yeah, no, this is not for me. So I wasn't nothing about that.
Trevor, what do you have to say?
If I can.
Come on.
The pole vault.
Yes, sir.
As it relates to the decathlon and the heptathlon, we won't have a good deck or a hep until we conquer the pole vault. Maurice Smith, that was the weakest event. But and the women at the Pan American Games in Canada, that was their weakest event, the pole vault. So that is something that we really need to pay attention to if we in fact want to have good multi-event athletes.
Okay. So the pole vault is something to pay attention to in critical development. And you know,
so I
was going to move. I want to come back to you guys mentioned some important thing, and you talk about champs, but I just want to talk about the lows of this championship. What are the lows for this championship for Jamaica from your perspective? Mr. Trevor, you can start this time. The lows for
what
you.
Was it?
The
lows?
Yeah.
There weren't many lows, you know. Disappointment maybe in our 110 hurdler not being able to compete. That wasn't a low, but a disappointment. Parchment, yes.
Parchment, yeah. Mr. Carr? Low.
I would go there too. And another disappointment is us not winning that 4x1 female. I think we had the ammunition to to do so.
Right.
But they make pencil rubber because mistakes are expected.
Yes.
And we did the cardinal of sin of not changing the baton properly. So you could have the 4 fastest persons in the world. If that baton is not changed properly, the result is what it is. The second time it's happening to us. Remember in 2008 when we had 1-2-2, the same thing happened to baton changing.
Right.
We just, I don't know if we take things for granted and say, yeah, but we can do this, and we're not spending enough time to ensure that we practice somehow, which is kind of difficult when you have athletes doing double and thing. It's kind of difficult to get them to the baton changing. But it's something we need to look at and try not to make the same mistake come next year.
Question for you and Mr. Trevor. You guys have been in management. You have coached teams at international level, and Mr. Trevor has managed teams at international level. When we're talking about preparation in terms of relays, do you think we spend enough time for preparation relay? Because we know that each camp has their own thing and the event. Do you think we need to spend more time in preparing our athletes for the relays?
No,
Yes.
I don't. I don't think so. As a matter of fact, what we do is to treat the relays like an add-on. If we should treat the relays like we treat the 100 meters, we'll be far along. We don't treat it like that. We just see it as something that we do after we finish our main events. We need to stop that. We need to start understand that the relays is an event. It's not a add-on. It's a real event, and we need to start looking at how we prepare for that. Maybe we don't have to wait until we go to the games to start working on that. Maybe we just need some cooperation from all the coaches and athletes, and we work it before we go to the games.
Right.
Well, I'll say this. Going back to
relays, Kansas relays, stuff like that.
I was gonna say, going back to the top of the hour when I was talking, I mentioned, heightened expectation. Your success breeds heightened expectations, right?
Right.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest disappointment was that 4x1 relay, because you don't go into a championship and the talk for the last year was that this squad could break the world record. That was the talk. Not just me I talk about it. Everybody was talking about it. Said, boy, this team can break the world record. So you don't go from a team that have the talent and the ability and the experience to break the world record to come in second and don't consider that a disappointment and there is an issue. And that to me is the problem. Listen, I have my thoughts on what the problem was. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what the problem was.
Mr. Carr.
The problem was a faulty baton change.
Say that again?
It. Just a faulty baton change.
Fine.
And that alone covered everything.
Which one? Because there are a couple of faulty baton changes.
The thing about it that overall, all the changes weren't the best.
Right.
Yes.
But the worst one was the first one.
Right.
And it was hard to get back at that stage. You see, when you have persons who, let's say, nearly equal, and you give them a jump on you, and it's hard to get back to them.
Right.
And
Right.
changes weren't the best either.
Right.
So again, preparation. He who fails to prepare to fail.
Yes,
That
sir.
is how it goes.
So what is your lows, Mr. Carr? What is your low at this Royal Athletic Championship?
As TC said, not really a low disappointment. Parchment case, that one was a real blow. He was also the captain of the team, so he wanted to set the pace, but it just never happened, unfortunately.
Right.
And again, the 4x1 relay, that was one of my disappointments. Because we could have done better. As I said before, we have everything there to do it. It just never happened. So those are my real lows. I also expected Yohan Blake to do a little better than what he did, based on what he did at the trials.
Right.
Running sub 10 for the first time in a few years, one would have believed that, hey, he's now getting into shape and ready to take on the world again. So That's one of my lows also. You know.
Well, for me personally, the lows, as I said, Parchment, that was one of my lows. And I'm not going to beat up too much on the race. Because once again, I just said button change, coordination. And then Mr. Trevor, TC Campbell said, we must take the relays as an event, not as an add-on.
True.
We must change that culture of having a relay as an add-on to an event. He said importantly.
In fairness, though, that hasn't been our problem. That's been more an American problem than a Jamaican problem.
No.
Yeah, man.
Always no.
No.
It's always no.
So we need to change the culture. And as I say, the US went back and prepared. But anyway, we're not gonna sing on that. But my thing is that let us take the relay as an event, change our culture and thinking and the process now. And I hope that the powers of B will look at things differently. Maybe bring a team to the relays competition wherever there is, so we keep ourselves sharp.
And as we say that to the mixed relay, we need to take that one a little bit more serious also.
Yes, sir.
It's not a what left. What left? You say, all right, we're not just gonna do that now. Like just a little thing. No, it's a gold medal. Anyway, you check it, it's a gold medal.
And I'm about 100,000, somebody going to win some money too.
Thank you very much. So we need to look at that event also, because some of these guys running the 400, let's face it, them can't pass the second round, and then some of them barely get into the second round. So why not put your energy inside us and say, listen, we could go for this one. I don't know. I don't know.
What you say about that? About the mixed event? What you say about them, Mr. Trevor?
I'm having difficulty hearing you guys clearly.
Okay. Now, what about the mixed event? What you say about it? Should we take that event serious too? Can you hear me now?
The mixed relay.
The mixed relay.
Yeah, it's an easy race to gain a medal. And if you look at what Don Rep did, they didn't send second string runners to the relay. They sent their best. We need to start thinking in terms of that. Can our best quarter miler get to the second round? Can he get to the third round? If not, then mixed relay. Simple.
And in furtherance of that point, the Dutch team, they had their best athlete, male or female, was their 400-meter hurdler. Bull, Femke Bull. And they put her on that race. They put her to anchor that race. And that race was early in the championship. So because it was early, you have days before you have another race to run. So you have time to recover. It definitely was an opportunity lost.
If I might add this, the local organizing committees did a great job in placing that final on the first day. Got it out of the way. 9 days left. I don't think the quarter milers competed for another 2 days after that. So it is set for anybody who wants to take advantage of it. The table is set.
Yeah.
So gentlemen, it seems like we are all in agreement that the Jamaica team performed exceptionally well in this World Athletic Championship. Can we concur on that, or we say there's room for improvement?
Look, we finished second. We finished second. Right behind the USA, then there was Ethiopia. Now for this little dot, to finish in second position. Hello, what can we say? When you look at when you compare the population of the Germany, the Chinas, the Japan, all those countries, England and things, this little 2.3 million finished second.
So, but now I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. So if we can't finish second, we can't finish first.
It's gonna be difficult.
No. If we finish second, if we come second,
I tell you what, I finish first. There are certain events that we're just not good in.
Well, right? We have to get good in them. Get some athletes.
Some of the field events we're just not there. It's gonna take a mammoth divine intervention for us to do that. Right? The only time we have ever come on top of a global championship again was in 2013 at the World Youth.
But there's possibility, Mr. Carr. There's possibility.
And that's my point. But that's my point. Because you know the one thing that we have in abundance? Talented athletes.
And good
But it
coaches.
takes more than talented athletes.
There you go.
We need infrastructure.
No, but that's a
We need
base. Not
infrastructure.
everybody
We
have
need
that.
money.
What is that? What was saying? What was saying?
I was saying that
What?
it takes more than just planning. We need infrastructure. We need stadiums. We need equipment. We need that into the schools also. When you go to a high school in the United States, you can't believe you think it's a college environment because they have everything that they need. So we need to put those things in place. Remember that we are a small nation.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make preparations even more so than a bigger nation, because they can find people with how much million they have. We only have what, 3 million?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to put things in place. We are not just gonna win a championship just because we can send a team. We have to win a championship because we build a team.
I agree, 100%. But all I'm saying is that we have the base. We have the base, which is the talent.
Mm-hmm.
So we have something we can build upon. Yeah, we have clay, so we can mold it. Some countries don't even have clay.
Mm.
Yeah, true. But when you look at it, how many schools can put out 2 flights of hurdles? You know, you have the basic. It has to start at the foundation. How many schools can afford certain equipment, shot put, discus, them sort of thing? The other thing too is the medical part of things, the nutritional part of things. How many some schools can do certain things because, like for you support your school in a way, and your Old Boys Association play an integral part in sports and the development of your past institution. How many schools have that type of body? It takes money for things to happen, right? For a season, you talk about millions of dollars to have an effective program. How many schools can afford that? So there's a lot of things to it. It's not just a snap of the finger.
No, absolutely.
But Mr. Carr, Mr. Trevor, question to you. Where should we start from with the base? Should we be starting from kindergarten, primary? Where should the base be building from? Mr. Trevor, can you go?
We should start by, like I referred to it earlier, putting infrastructure in place. We need proper tracks. We need proper training environment. We need proper health. We need proper dieting. We need to teach people how they recover. Rest is important. So it's a whole something that we're going to have to put in place. We have been lucky. We've been running on talent. Now we need to move from just running on talent to running to a plan.
Mr. Carr, what you say?
TC said it all, you know, and I referred to some of the things before. It has to start down there. And we have to put infrastructure in place at the smart. Remember, we have basic school champs. Basic school, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we move from basic school, we have prep primary, then we go to high school and what have you. So that is where it starts. And that is where we have to start develop from. Get those kids growing into the system. Not when they reach up to high school, them start do this, or when they go to university. But we start from down there. Because sometimes some of these kids, when they come to high school, them can't even do drills. And you were told that, boy, I used to do that at this school. I used to do track and field at my prep or primary. It's not even simple drills some of them can do. So those is where we start. And again, the nutrition, right? The nutrition is a key part. How many schools and things can afford to feed their athletes or their sports persons the right way?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things put together.
So what about coaching, Mr. Carr and Mr. Trevor? Do you think we need more coaching?
I don't think coaching is a problem. I don't think coaching is a problem. We have some of the best coaches all through the island, thankfully. And you see where it is not just in Kingston that we're having the success.
Exactly.
We have that success from across the island, and it is because we have those coaches coming out of GC Foster, for example, and sending them across the island. Coaching is not really a
and
problem.
overseas.
Pardon me?
And overseas also, because we're sending coaches overseas now to train other athletes. Yeah.
We have so many we can export. So coaching is not the problem. The problem is infrastructure and equipment.
And gentlemen, I talk about infrastructure and equipment, which is one of the thing where everybody about Jamaica, the government knows about them not the money. And I'm going to be blunt and be square. The amount of money we're wasting due to corruption, over the years, those money could have invested in facilities and infrastructure. That's my take. Right? And every time governments or administration make excuses, our athletes, and tell me if I am wrong, Mr. Trevor and Mr. Karen and Dwight, our athletes know our promoting our country. They're number one advertisers for Jamaica.
Brand Jamaica.
Brand Jamaica.
They are doing tourism board. I know that. Because anywhere you go in the world, you hear about a Bolt and a Shelley. You don't hear about minister this and minister that. So who promote Jamaica more? Our athletes. People come here to find out what's happening.
Yes.
You know. But part of the issue, I think, is yes, we have the coaches, yes, we have the athletes. There are things that we're lacking, but I also see that we need to step up our involvement behind the scenes. We need to get more involved. We need to get more involved in the administration.
Who is we?
Of track and field.
Who's we?
We as Jamaicans. We not talk French. We as Jamaicans in a whole.
Okay,
as Jamaicans on a whole, we need to get more involved. And I'm not talking the government, because you rely upon government for anything, you'll be sitting there forever. Whichever government, it doesn't matter. Private individuals need to, and especially gentlemen like you guys who know track and field, get involved with it on a level beyond coaching and so on. Not just in Jamaica. I used to ask all the time, I'll just give you an example. All the time when Bolt was running, I said, why do we not have a Diamond League meet in Jamaica?
Yes.
Not a second tier meet. Why do we not have a Diamond League meet in Jamaica? Why are they playing to half-empty stadiums in the US and other places when you know, sir, people will fly to Jamaica for that? Nobody could answer. Well, we don't have the facilities. You know, fix up the facilities. Get facilities. That's something that can be. That's low-hanging fruit. Yeah. But if we don't have anybody in that room when those decisions and those conversations are being had, we don't have anybody in that room lobbying and advocating for us, that will never change. So we need to have people in that room. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we need a Diamond League. We need a Diamond League. Jamaica has the richest. We have our music. We have our sunshine.
I understand Doha. I mean, the money long. They have oil money and the money long. I understand that. But guess what? You don't have a meet without Jamaicans, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So make we talk.
And did you know that through the schools, the government does not give anything to a school for extracurricular activity, for a sports program? Not $1. The government contributes to a school to develop their sports program. But when those athletes come on the well, everybody run company wagon, hey, and push up them chests and move things.
No, Mr. Carr, you serious? Them don't give even like a
hello, not even $1. I am not asking, I'm telling you.
Can you name an institution that's gotten money from the Jamaican government, brethren?
All these sports programs you see in the schools,
yeah.
Those they get funding from the school fee and the little fundraising this and the little that and the little, not from the government. not from the government. I can tell you that. Right? So it is when they reach up here, you know, as I said before, everybody run, come on, and they push up them chests and take pictures and the most things and what have you. Where are they in the development of these kids and these things at school? Some of the companies are the same thing too. Private sector. When an athlete gets on top and doing this, they all come and think, where are they in the development? I'm going to tell you something. I remember in 1994, 95, I was going to the pen relays. And I sent a letter to a particular company to help with sponsoring some of the athletes to go to the pen relays. One of the athletes was Shelly Ann. They sent back to me saying that, sorry, they cannot afford and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, 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 yeah. When did the blah, blah, blah go?
Exactly. 2 years later, when she, or 3 years when she won the Olympic gold, all of a sudden, that same company sponsored and raised Shirley and Fraser. That company, you know, when she got to school, I would make them like a change to go to pen relays. Them couldn't help with. But you win, Olympic champion now, all of a sudden, everybody come aboard now. Right?
Let me ask okay, now let me ask you a question. As a businessman, I'm going to ask you this question because this is how I would approach a situation. Did you apply the appropriate tax?
In terms of?
In terms of them this year before, and now them want to come talk to you, there has to be a tax. So you have to apply the tax.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they did not see that.
This is business. This is business.
They did not see that, you know. Right? So what is now? It's a general thing, you know. It's a general thing. They are not here to develop. They are here to reap. They're not plan. They're not sowing a seed. They want to reap the corn. But they're not want to sow.
They don't want to sow.
They don't want to sow. They want to reap. And it is what it is.
So,
unfortunately, that little school, I remember we went to one of the World Games and this particular hurdler was there. You know what he had to use for hurdles? Some tires. He had to put to stand up.
Repeat that again. Repeat what you said.
I went to the World Juniors. I think it was, that one was where? It's Kenya, one of those. And there was a hurdler there, 400 hurdler. What he had to practice with was tires, hurdling, tires in put up for hurdle. When we came back, I took it to the J3 and what have you. Little after somebody got some hurdles and gave to them and thing. But tires and the youth with World Juniors level. And tires, where's everybody else? Nobody, you see, that is where again, like I say, the past student association, some of these schools probably need to chip in some more. Unfortunately, male past students do much more than a female set of past students. There are some female past students who try and try and try. But like your school and others, want to take pride in your school being on top. Want to take pride in helping in the school to do this. Right? Some don't. But like one athlete come up, everybody, we don't have no builders, boss.
So therefore we need builders.
We need builders, not reapers. That's what we need.
So for example, Mr. Carr, at Wolmer's, do you get the support of past students, like the girls who have left? Do they give the support to the girls who are in the program right now? Yes or no?
It is changing. Before it wasn't. I'm being honest with you. Before it wasn't. But now, you have younger past students now who understand things are like different. So it is changing. And some of them are working and helping right now. I must say that. But before, it was like a culture, you know. Them just think, don't see sports as certain like as a way out.
Right.
Avenue out. But
right.
no, they are seeing it. Thanks to people like Shelly Ann You know,
Right.
Johnny Smith, people
Right.
like those who come and change things, and now everybody realize, say, hey, we can. So I have a set of students, past students right now up in your area who are doing their best to help us and give God thanks.
But you know, Mr. Carr, to be honest, to add to this thing about, you know, and then the past student, and I'm going not beat them up so much, but what the world is looking at now, this is what is the trend. Student athlete. If you're a good athlete and a student, you can make your talent take you to the highest level of education.
Definitely.
If you don't go on the pro circuit, your athleticism can help you to get a good scholarship, a good education, and bring it back to get a good job down the road. And that's
Regime
why
can change your life.
We have seen a lot of that. We have seen a lot of that. You know, students have gotten track scholarship. They have not gone to the elite level, but they are now lawyers and doctors and serious administrators because of their talent, and it was balanced with the academic part of it. They got a scholarship, and then whenever they win, you know, them have them 3-point or 4 GP marks and stuff.
Right.
So, you know, it has happened. People have used their talent to set themselves. You know, just like how they move from prep and primary to high school, they move from high school up to universities.
Right.
Everybody can be about 5% or less of all the athletes have gone through and make it up there, you know. Just think about it. Every year we have champs. Every year we see a lot of outstanding performers. How many of them eventually you see up there on top of the world? Not
That's
many.
a question I need to ask him, Mr. What is the factors that X factors that are not letting them go to that next level? And that's what we need to answer. But I don't want us to dive early. We want to go back to the concept back on the road at the championship. Gentlemen, quick question. So from 1 to 10, how you give Jamaica their performance? From 1 to 10, Dwight. 10 being the highest. 1 to 10.
8.
Mr. Carr.
8.
I give them 8.5. Because you know why? We want little dot.
Yeah,
3
man.
million. We came second in the overall medal.
I'm going to say it again. If we're going to come second,
Probably
we
give
can
them,
come first.
What you say, Mr. Carr?
when you look at it at a serious level, I probably give them all 9 based on what we have and who we are and what we have achieved.
Yes, sir.
If we come second, we can come first.
And yeah, boy, I agree with you, but yet again, Mr. Trevor jump out, I don't know if we do connection, internet, whatever. But Mr. Trevor highlight him more, get infrastructure up, nutrition up. Because we have the coaches in abundance. That's clear. But
And
we
the
need to
talent
make
is there
sure.
too.
Eh?
The
Oh, yeah.
talent is there too.
The talent is there. And we need to make sure that we get that done. On the World Championship, there were some issues with the census, starting census of athletes were disqualified because of the census. Gentlemen, we're part of the time. I'm going to ask to give me about 10 more minutes or 15 minutes more time. What about the census issue with the starting? What do you find is an issue or is just people complaining? Sakar.
The sensors, as they say, they are very sensitive. And the moment you relax some of that pressure on it, it's going to show you that you ease the pressure from it. Now, you might not have come out of the blocks, but just easing the pressure off of that block is going to look like you did, so you move. Right? Now, what they probably need to do is instead of, let us say it is 1.5.
Right.
They need to probably put it up to 1.8 or 2.
Right.
Right? To give a little more play, a little more leverage, because we're all human.
Right.
But it wasn't much, you know. If you check it out, it wasn't much, you know. Apart from my girl from the islands.
Right.
And who else?
Athlete.
Yeah, I think there were 2 Caribbean islands.
One Bahamas, I think.
Yes, Bahamas, right? But it was a month, and everybody now learn and know how to deal with it because it is there. You know that if you do this, you're gonna get that. So you have to just do this and stay within the rules and thing of the game. You know.
Judge Campbell, you hearing us? Welcome back, sir. You all right now?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're talking. You missed a little thing where we're talking about the athletics or the performer, but we're talking about a sensor issue. Do you want to add anything to it, sir?
No, because I would have to have more information before I can really delve into that. But Coach Carr was saying that once you remove pressure from the pedal, you're going to it is going to register on the equipment if the equipment is working properly. And so and so athletes need to be aware that it is not the movement from the ground, but maybe it is the movement from the blocks that is important. And if we could get that over, maybe we won't have so many problems.
Right.
I think people believe it is when you move that is when you have a false start, but it's not. It's when you take pressure off the blocks. And so we probably need to educate.
So Zakari and Mr. Trevor, you are saying when we take pressure off the blocks, that's when we send them off.
Yeah, it's not a case of you see the hands come up. What? No, just the sensor pressure off of the blocks, a little pressure off of the block, and it's gonna register. Right. Wow. So that's what I'm saying. If they had, for argument's sake, 1.5, they should adjust it to either 2 or 1.8.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you concur with that? Or
yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know what was causing the issues. It was especially in the men's hurdles race, because at the end of the day, when they finally run the race, Grant Holloway basically run against himself. Because there was nobody left in the race who could have beat him. Parchment got hurt, Devon Allen got DQ'd, you know, so it was just a mess, you know what I mean? And I don't know what the issue was. That makes sense what you guys are saying. I don't know what the issue was in Eugene with that, but listen, overall, they did a good job with the championships.
Yeah, I think so
that
too.
Track is fast. That track is a fast track. And whatever issues they had with the start and the sensors, they must sort that out next time. Hopefully.
So starting with you, Mr. Trevor, how is the future looking for Jamaica team, Mr. Trevor?
Look, I think we have a great set of youngsters that we're working with right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if not the next championships, but maybe the Olympics, that you see these youngsters really coming to the fore and filling the promise that we see now.
Zakar?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at, as I said earlier, look at how far some of them reach. You know, they made the finals. It's a learning curve. And they now can go back to the training ground. You know, I said I'm going to join board. Because all three of them. See, they're going to go back to the training ground now and put in a little work and then now understand what it takes to get to that level, to get to the next level.
Right.
So I expect that probably a year or two that most of them should, barring no injuries, because that is something you cannot pencil out, because that will mash up anybody's career. Right? But all things being equal, as I said, they should learn from it and become better athletes further down the road. Because let's face facts, you know, some persons will soon have them spikes and things, you know.
Yes, sir.
So we need to see that transition. We need to see somebody fitting into the space. I think within the females, in terms of the sprinting, I think we have some good young ones coming up.
Yes.
The male, we have some, but we have to nurture them properly. Right?
Where's the nurture? Mr. Carr? Where's the nurture? What's going on with the male? Talk to me.
Okay, when I say nurture, I'm talking about guidance.
Finance?
Guidance.
Guidance, okay.
Guidance. Keeping them grounded. Because what happened to some of them? Some of these shoe companies give them contract and then find themselves for 1,000 US and then feel like they're rich and start forget about what got them there and start look at things as big spender, big this, big that, and then lose focus. So they need good guidance to keep them on the straight and narrow path. The ladies are more focused, in my opinion, and that is why you see more of them coming out than the male. Right? It's unfortunate, but it's reality. Right?
Do you concur with Mr. Trevor about the male assessment and need proper guidance?
Yes, they
absolutely.
They need
absolutely the guidance. If I could tell you a short story. We went to Kenya with a half miler, right? I won't call his name. We went to Kenya with a half miler. The evening he was supposed to compete, it was raining. And he went into the race, but he really didn't compete. And when we inquired why, he said that he didn't want to hurt himself because he's thinking about champs next year. Now, this youngster is at a World Youth Championship and thinking about champs
next year. Wow.
So we need to get the priorities straight.
Yes.
We need to understand that champs is champs, but a world championship is a title.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we need to start directing young minds the right and proper way, because there are some persons who are guiding who need guidance themselves.
So you're saying we need some mentorship programs for the men them. We need a good mentorship, and we have good mentorship and mentors
right.
to give them that proper guide. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's a part we're looking at basically.
Do you want to add something?
I agree with that. Listen, I look at, Seville, right? Who ran at Calabar. And, when he turned pro, he wasn't running a lot the last couple of years. He really was not running a lot. You didn't see him every weekend at the Diamond League. You never see him in 100 different developmental meets or nothing. So when he showed up at the World Championship, when he showed up at Tokyo last year, when he showed up at the World Championship this year, if you don't follow the sport closely, this was an unknown quantity. Not anymore. Everybody know his name now. If you remember the semifinals when they run against Bracy and Bracy turned and look at him like weird, you didn't expect, he never expect that. You know what I mean? Because this guy wasn't out there, so he wasn't that known quantity. We need to that was a master stroke to me. And we need to make sure that you have individuals and you nurture them and bring them along. Some require more hand-holding than others. That's just reality. Everybody's not the same. Some of them you gotta say, go on. Some of them you have to say, slow down, crawl before you walk. But at the end of the day, again, we have the coaches who know how to do that. And that is a plus. That is something that we have, and that's a plus. Salute to you, gentlemen. Yeah,
man. And I'm going to show something at Mr. Carr, Mr. Trevor. I'm seeing performance at Boys Championship before we close up. Because, I must tell you thanks for taking your time and coming, because 9 o'clock will now close up. But from my perspective, I may be wrong, can we see in the future kids running at champs, boys doing sub 10 seconds, 9.99, ladies, girls doing less time? Is that possible? With the current infrastructure we have and coaches we have, can we see high school kids?
Well, look at it this way now. Records are being broken every day, right? We just saw the other day one of the twins, running sub 10 seconds. She's a school girl.
11.
It's sub 11, sorry. That's a school girl who probably moving on now, but she did it in school. So I think it can happen. The only thing is that my concern is that let us not put the horse or the cart before the horse. Let us be patient. Let us take it in stride. Because what has happened to some of our athletes over the years is that them are the adult things. So after a while, they reach a point and them just cannot go anymore. And the only way they can go is down.
What
So,
adult things? Clarify adult things. You remember some of you might understand with the adult. You have the experience code. Tell what about adult things. Talk to us clearly.
Even some of the workouts, right? Some of the workouts sometimes. They are kids and we need to treat them as kids. Right? Some of the workouts, some of them doing X amount of this, X amount of that. We need to take them in stride. Remember, again, they are kids and we need to treat them as such. Their joints are still growing, their body still growing. So we need to monitor those parts because sometimes we push them too hard, you know. And it's when they get hurt, hit that. They can't
So
come.
you're saying that
I've known
it's not being channeled properly for the kids. Them.
Yeah, a lot of them thinking about 2 little points at champs more than looking down the road to be the next world champion. But they want to be the champion at champs and think champs is it. They have to start thinking beyond that and realize, say, hey, this is just a stepping stone, right? And stop letting these kids feel like they are the greatest thing since sliced bread too.
World beaters. They're not.
Yeah.
That horse left the barn already, though, boss. You realize that? That horse left the barn already. We talked about social media. That will never happen anymore. That they are now exposed to everything. They hear the comments. That horse left the barn long time.
So Trevor, what do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about this thing we're talking about? What do you have to say, Mr. Trevor? That man very pensive and very precise in your argument when you're talking. Let's be of you, sir.
Look, it's a Jamaican problem, right? Champs is our biggest trap meet, our biggest outing, and it has a lot of support. Everywhere you go in the country, people talking about champs, and so if you are not exposed to the wider world, then you want to believe that champs is the world.
Yes.
And so I believe that in bringing these youngsters along from class 3 to class 1, we need to put it in their heads. Yes, champs is important. It's a great meet, but it's only a stepping stone. You won't get a lane in the Diamond League because you're a champion. People need to understand that from a very young age. Yes, champs is important, but it's only a stepping stone.
Listen, I don't like the way I beat up on champs.
No, man.
I don't like the way I beat up on champs. I don't think you really. No, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think you really.
It's a great foundation.
And
but it's only a foundation.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we have what is the greatest high school track meet in the world.
True.
Period. And there's no number 2. I never even realized that the US, so the US have national high school champs in track and field. I never knew that until a couple years ago. Nobody knows. Nobody hear about it. Nobody cares.
What do I? To be honest, I don't think they're beating up on champs, to be honest. I think what they're saying is that the kids, they must look beyond champs.
No, I understand. No, but just like, but for some, remember, not everybody is going to go pro. Not everybody is going to go to college. For some kids, champs is it.
Yeah, but Dwight, that's a mentality that must be reversed, because once again, as I said earlier, if you are a student athlete, you're doing well at school, you must make use it to make you earn from it, whether you're going to pro or you go to college, get a good education, because they always say with a proper education, it keeps you out of poverty.
As TC said, is a foundation.
Yes,
it's a foundation.
Yeah, and
but the point is that yes, I agree. It's a found, but the point is that it is a very important part of the overall picture, and you can't lose sight of that.
I understand that, but we need.
But nobody's losing sight of champs and its value,
Right.
Nobody's saying that. it has no value. We know how important, and that is what has helped a lot of our athletes now to
Yes,
be
sir.
where they are and
Yes.
who out and deal with pressure.
Yes.
Because champs is pressure. When you step out
Yeah.
there as a youth, champs is pressure.
Real pressure.
Yes, of course. And that helps when they move on and go to these big games. I mean, it coming like nothing to them because the pressure of them get a chance. This is nothing. And
Yep.
that them to perform even better, more relaxed, more composed.
Yes, sir.
You know. So
But-
champs is one of the greatest thing that ever happened since sliced bread. Boys and girls champs.
Mr.
Yeah, man.
Trevor, while you were away because of technical issues, we were asking what would he give the Jamaica perform from 1 to 10, 10 being high? What would he rate the team performance?
Could you repeat that, please?
No, we're saying what would you rate the Jamaica performance from 1 to 10? What would he give the team?
The world championship.
8.5.
Either we see that man, man the boss says 8.5. Why would he say 8.5, sir? Why would you say 8.5, Mr. Trevor?
Why would I say 8.5?
Yes, sir.
If you look at the number of personal bests, if you look at the number of persons getting to the semifinals, and then you back that up with the medals that we won, 8.5.
Wow.
I'm being a little mean by not saying 9.
Boy, we think they was generous when we say 8.
No man, they did a good job. They really did a good
They
job.
did.
Remember,
They
you know,
did.
we
Excellent,
sent a
excellent.
team of what? Some 40 odd people.
Yeah.
The
I was
US
saying-
sent a team of over 100 people.
Yeah.
So just make that comparison and you see how good we were.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, Mr. Carr, Mr. Trevor, we have to wrap it. I must say thank you. This was to my brother, Dwayne Cunningham, who will link up Mr. Carr and Mr. Trevor. You guys have make a difference tonight. But I want to leave you with your final words. I will start with Mr. Trevor. What do you say about this world as a chat? What do you want to say about Jamaica and the future of Jamaica going forward? How we look at it?
All right, first thing I want to say is that our athletes have been our greatest ambassadors.
Yes, sir.
Period. And we respect what you do, athletes, and we love what you do, and you make us proud.
Yes, sir.
Don't watch the little negatives that might fly by. Jamaica people love you, and that's the reason why they talk about you, and that's
Yes.
the reason why they want you to be better. And so just keep on inspiring us, because what you do lifts the nation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mr.
just
Carr, your
gonna end
final
on that.
words.
Don't add anything else to it.
Yes.
Just to look at something, we got 10 medals, 2 gold, 7 silver, 1 bronze, 2 fourth places,
Mhm.
3 fifth place, 3 sixth place, 4 seventh place. Okay, now I mean that speaks volume. That speaks volume of what we did, and our athletes. When track and field happening, everybody stand up. The nation stand up. For all what work stop. Everybody wants to see a TV because they want to see the 100, they want to see the 4x1, which means that our athletes, they have a fantastic influence on our nation.
Yes,
They are
sir.
great ambassadors. To me, they are doing much work sometimes than the tourism trade in Jamaica, right? And we need to understand that, and we need to look at sports tourism even more.
Yes,
Could
sir.
more avenues for things like that, right? But overall, the World Championship, I think we did well, and we should all be proud. No championship will ever be perfect. None.
Correct.
Places
Correct.
when you expect things and you don't get it, and places when you don't expect things and you get it. So we have to understand that and kudos to the athletes. We know how hard them train. We know how much sacrifice. 2 times a day, get up out of them bed 4 o'clock in the morning every day. That's not easy. So we need to respect and love them, because nobody goes out there to fail, you know.
Yes, sir.
Everybody goes there to do them best. Nobody not go out there to say, "Chum, me not run here, man. I me not jump." Everybody go to do them best. And we as a nation, we should try and love them and respect them for what they have done for us.
Us. The word, operative word, us.
Yes, man, us. Us.
Dwight, your words, your final words.
I want to leave you with 2 quotes that I like, that I treasure. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Repeat that again, Dwight. Repeat that.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
True.
So
put in the work. True. The other thing I want to say is this. This is a quote from J.W. Marriott, who started the Marriott Hotel chain. Success is never final. Going back to the beginning of our conversation, the greater success you have, the greater the expectations. If you come second, we can't come first, you know. I would keep saying that. If we came second, we can come first. So that's the mindset we'll have to have. Yes, we've had success. There's still a lot more to go.
And gentlemen, you have said a lot. And to add my big up Patrick Perry, thank you for the kind words. Castro, well done. Yeah, you say to our last season, enough love. Gentlemen, you know, it was an honor, and I must say, to be amongst the greats, Mr. Carr, Trevor, and Dwight, to hear your views. And I'm not being sarcastic, I'm being honest. And you guys have opened my eyes, and all my viewers have seen what you guys have been saying about the World Athlete Championship and how well our athlete has done. And I hope they understand that our athletes are our real ambassadors. And the bottom line is this: we have to give them the support. And how we're going to give them support, I don't care. The minister or whoever, and look at everybody, give us the facilities. Give the athletes the facilities. Give the athletes the necessary nutrition. Give the athletes the necessary financial support. Because once again, as Dwight, my brother, said, we can be number one. We were number 2 in this World Athlete Championship. And if we can really harness and bring our talents together and make sure that they get the real support, the sky's the limit for our people. And as I said, Mr. Carr and Trevor, that our people must give our athletes as much love and support. Because as I said, no athlete out there to fail. Every athlete that runs for Jamaica wants some level of success. And that's my take. Mr. Carr.
Yeah, I just want to say a big shout out to Marsha and the crew who's tuning in from Georgia.
Yes, Marsha, yeah, man. To watch the message, Jamina.
Yes, Marsha.
Yeah, Marsha, message,
She's been one of my support backbone, you know, so shouting out to her, I know she tuned in.
Yes, boss. So, Trevor, that thing you say, sir, you're a legend, you know.
I just love the opportunity to talk track, and who better to talk track with than people who know track and field.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us, you know.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, and I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Well, guess what I'm now? I don't appreciate being here, you know.
Huh?
I don't appreciate being here.
Why?
I appreciate love being here. Okay? Yeah, still.
I appreciate love being here.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Dwight, Mr. Carr, Mr. Trevor, T.C. Campbell, thank you so much. And I hope that one day we can have a discussion on track and field and the future. And I hope that some of these things we talk about can really manifest itself and the support will come. I don't know the answers, and I hope that you two gentlemen will continue to give your support in whatever way or form, whether at the highest level administration, as Dwight suggested, or taking some leadership role. Because we need you people, you gentlemen, you distinguished gentlemen, to be a part of the process. to be a part of the change, so athletes can go out and represent Jamaica at the highest level without worrying about jumping over a tire or worrying about financial support, sleeping upon tough bed, missing the train. You know, we need you people. And thanks again, and I appreciate the time. So have a
Thanks
wonderful week, my gentlemen, and we talk again. Thank you. And have a wonderful
Thanks
week.
for having us.
All
Good
right.
night, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Take care.
Respect.
Come on. Good
All
going.
right. Thank you. Yes, my Facebook family and friends and YouTuber, that was the recap of the World Athletic Championship by Mr. Michael Card, Trevor T.C. Campbell, my co-host, Dwight Geddes. I hope that you have all enjoyed the program this time. I know we went over 1.5 hours, but it was so fulfilling to hear these distinguished gentlemen talking about track and field, about how the process and what is lacking in helping our program to go forward and creating more and quality athletes and athletes who can be world beaters. I hope that one day we can have some more discussion on this, and I hope that you're able to join me. So I want to say thank you all for being a part of it. Thank you all for staying so late with me tonight. Have a wonderful and blessed week, and see you next week for another episode of My Perspective. I'm your host, Sean Falconer. Blessed love. Peace out. Thank you. Good night.